Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dummies on the Hardwood. I got Bennie right across from me. I got Isaac to the left of me. Jay couldn't make it with us tonight, unfortunately. Just dummies giving our unfiltered thoughts and opinions on topics and storylines surrounding the NBA. Tonight, fellas, we're going to switch over conferences and we're going to head over to the Western Conference. And today we're going to be talking about the Northwest Division.
Thank you. Actually, competitive teams.
Teams with some relevance, you know?
A lot of competitive teams out there. Teams that we're going to be talking about today are the OKC Thunder, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Denver Nuggets, the Utah Jazz, and the Portland Trailblazers.
Everything but that last team.
Before we go any further, does anyone have any shout-outs they'd like to give, or should we just hop right in?
No, let's just get into it.
Yeah, let's get it. We'll give the shots at the end.
So we're going to talk about that team that's up there about 5,280 feet above sea level. We're going to be talking about the Denver Nuggets.
Okay. All right. Well, what exactly are we, what you got for us?
So I pulled up this quote today from Jason Tatum that he said on the Nuggets. Quote, when Minnesota beat Denver, I felt like Denver was the only team that matched up best with us. I thought that they were going to play Denver in the finals and it was going to be a good one.
So I saw that. So he's basically saying that Denver would have been more of a challenge better than Dallas.
Basically that's what he's saying. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Isaac, you lead off.
That's disrespectful as a Mavs fan. But yeah, they were the only real threat to us making it to the making a run at the Western Conference Finals. But let's look at the stats. Let's see. So in the playoffs, let's see. Team leaders, Jokic in points, Jokic in rebounds, Jokic in assists. Anyone seeing a picture that needs more updating?
They rely on Nikola Jokic.
Let's see. Who else? Let's see. Jamal Murray. Let's see. His stats. He only had 20 points. Michael Porter Jr. had 15. Aaron Gordon had 14 after that.
That's not bad.
He had
that's still some production.
8 points from KCP, who's now gone, so that's 8 less points. And then you have 5 points from Christian Brown, 5 points, but he's going to be a starter. Reggie Jackson's gone, so they just relied too much on Jokic to carry everything, in my opinion.
Yeah. What do you got to say?
So is the question of like, are we saying Denver is the better team than both Dallas and Minnesota, or what's because if we're talking about that, I'll just give my honest opinion. I thought Denver and Minnesota matched up really well, right? I thought that was a good matchup. But then, obviously, due to, the Nuggets choking in Game 7 of the semis, they played Dallas. And I'm going to be honest with you, the moment I saw Minnesota and Dallas, I thought Dallas was going to get swept. I'm just going to keep it real. I did not think Dallas had any relevance at all. But for some stroke of luck, I mean, they got hot. That's just what it is. They got hot. So if you ask me who was the more competitive team, right? If Denver had advanced and they played Dallas ain't going to hang with Denver. They don't got nobody guarding Jokic. Personally, me, if it was Denver and Boston, that would have been a better finals. But we got Dallas and Boston. And everybody who's an NBA fan knew that there's no way in hell Dallas was not going to beat Boston. Dallas wasn't going to beat Boston. We all knew that. But we got some delusional Mavericks fans thinking like, oh, we going to beat Boston with who? With who? And then sure enough, quick 5 games made it super simple, super easy. So yeah, I think Denver would have brought more of a challenge than Dallas. That's just my personal opinion. But I do agree that they do rely on Jokic way too much. Jamal Murray, I think I'll still take him any day of the week. But Jamal Murray's got to step up in other areas, right? But, I mean, it's just Nikola Jokic versus the Dallas Mavericks. That's what you would have really gotten, so.
I'm just going to stay quiet. Whatever.
Isaac, you keep on talking. You say what you guys say, bro. But we just know that Dallas was not the better team than Denver. In that particular moment, they were, but they are not beating Denver in a 7-game series. You tell me they're going to beat Denver in a 7-game series. You're putting all your money on that?
Yes.
All right. Bobby, who you put your money on?
I'm gonna take Denver.
See, come on.
I'm still taking Denver.
I'll take Denver at 6.
I thought I was with Isaac when I first read that quote about what JT said about Denver. I was like, man, that's kind of a low blow, but I mean, he was speaking the truth.
He's not wrong,
He's
bro.
not wrong. He really, you know, if Denver played Boston in a 7-game series, put it like this: it's gonna go 7 games, and I'm gonna take Denver winning in 7 games because there's no one on Boston that could guard Nikola Jokic. Nobody out there.
I mean, if I'm taking out my whole bias from this, you know, because obviously the bias in me wants to say the Celtics can win the series. If, you know, obviously with Kristaps Porzingis with this injury, if he had gotten injured and say they were playing Denver, then I would have shat my pants. Because I know how good Denver is with Jokic, and Jokic can take over at any moment. So I will take the bias out and say I really legit think that Denver could have beat Boston. But if Porzingis was healthy and say he assumed he didn't have the injury, I think Boston would win. I think still think it would be 7.
I wouldn't.
That's
Denver.
just my opinion. That's my opinion.
Even when Porzingis was healthy, you guys lost a close game in the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, but I still think I would take him.
And even then, I mean, if Kristaps Porzingis was guarding Nikola Jokic, let's be real. Porzingis doesn't have enough in his back pocket to hold down Jokic. Let's be real for a minute.
No,
let's just be real. Jokic is going to get 2 back downs. He's going to drop Porzingis underneath the basket. And he's going to get a layup every single time. Every single time. Now, Kristaps Porzingis does not have the length. The only person that I could see on the Celtics who could guard Nikola Jokic is Al Horford. Just being real.
He locked up Embiid.
Yeah, because Al Horford's that steady, solid center. You know, I think he could. I think he would give matchup problems for Jokic.
I agree.
Really quick,
agree.
You brought up Embiid. He signed a max extension. Just want to get your thoughts on this. Is this his last chance at a title? Is this Philly's last chance? What do you guys think?
I want to save that for the end. Save that for the end. I got my answer for that, but save that for the end.
Yeah, we'll save that for the end. So what? The Nuggets, chicken nuggets, or Denver Nuggets?
I say fried chicken nuggets at the end.
I say chicken nuggets.
I say Dino Nuggets.
Dino Nuggets.
Those shits are bomb as fuck.
You should do your Yoshi noise.
Anyways,
what do we want to predict where Denver will finish?
I still have Denver as a top 5 seed out west. Top 5 is a stretch. Maybe top 7, but just falling into the play-in, they're better than Memphis, I think.
Go ahead, Isaac.
I'm gonna go high as 4, low as like 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Top 5. So,
yeah.
But do I think they're slightly better than Dallas?
No.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Slightly
better. Because, again, you know, we'll talk about it another time, but just the moves that Dallas made just wasn't really appealing, but we'll say that for another time.
Does it have to be appealing to you?
When we get to the Southwest Division.
Doesn't have to be appealing to you. Move on.
You know who's appealing, though? You know who's appealing?
A banana?
Not a banana.
Who's appealing?
The Minnesota Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards.
I like that.
Potential MVP candidate. What do you guys think?
MVP is a stretch. MVP is a definite stretch. But I think he's definitely going to be up there. Now, when people were talking about he's the second coming of MJ, I think that was pretty dumb. Like, you know, because there's no other Michael Jordan. There's only one Anthony Edwards and one Michael Jordan. But if you personally ask me my opinion, I really think Ant's going to take that next step forward. Is he going to beat Jokic for the MVP? No, he's not going to beat Jokic. Once Ant starts adding more to his game, like becoming more of a facilitator, because he can defend, he can play both sides of the ball. I'm going to give him credit. You know, he's probably the best 2-guard right now in the league.
Two-way guard.
Two-way guard, yeah. He's the best two-way guard. I think he's better than Booker. I will say that. Him and JB, it's up for debate. You know what I mean? They're both so athletic. They're both so dynamic, right? But it's almost at the end of the day, who would you give the ball to at the end of the game? You know what I mean? It's all about that. So you ask me, I think Ant just needs to take that step forward, but he's heading in the right direction. You know what I mean?
I call Anthony Edwards probably going to be one of those dark horse MVPs.
He's definitely dark horse.
He's going to be a dark horse MVP. Now, where do I see Minnesota this year? Do I see them being a top 5 team? I see them being a top 5 team, maybe 3 or 4.
I say number one.
I say number 3 or
I'm
4.
saying number one.
Number 3 or 4 out there. You know, Anthony Edwards, I think, could be potentially an MVP this season if he takes a step forward with his passing game, facilitates better, like you said. But you know, I just think that something needs to happen in Minnesota.
I think Ant will be an MVP candidate. He's not gonna take it from Luka. Just saying that.
No, absolutely not. No.
The
No
only
stretch.
thing is this like title or bust with this core? I feel like it's a title or bust here with only because hear me out. Last year you saw Gobert got exposed. You saw Cat got exposed. So if they run it back one more year, have they plateaued? Was last year, did they plateau already? I know they added Rob Dillingham, but let's be honest. The problem is the big man.
I'm not sure.
One
if
of
the
those
problem with
bigs,
big
in my
man-
opinion, need to go. And if I'm being realistic, you could really get more out of you trade Cat. I think you need to trade Cat and get yourself at least maybe another young point guard.
But I mean, that's why you got Rob Dillingham. That's why you got him.
I would say
You know?
they need a more mobile stretch four.
May open up minutes for Nas Reed.
But see, the issue was when Kyle Anderson left. I mean, yeah, he's slow-mo, you know, his shot's so funky, it's so goddamn slow, right? But he was steady, he was reliable. You can always count on him. Now, I think if you trade Cat, I do agree you can get more pieces back for Cat, right? But I don't think it's just a bust season. It was just 1 year that they were on a good run. I'm not gonna lie. You know, Chris Finch did a hell of a job with the team. But I mean, to say it's a bust year is too soon. Like maybe next year if they don't get it together, then I'll say, all right, well then now it's time to break up the core. But man, you got to ride with this team. This team is hot. This team is rolling. And then you added a young scorer in Rob Dillingham. I mean, the sky's up for Minnesota. You know what I mean?
I think Minnesota needs to get rid of Cat. That's just my opinion.
Here's
I
the
don't think
thing.
so.
Their defense wasn't the problem. It was the offense. And you really think Cat's gonna be the saving grace?
But see, the problem is with the offense, though, like because I was watching some of those games last year, is they tended to become stagnant in the offense. You know what I mean? Like it'll be too much one-on-one ball. And this is where I think Anthony Edwards can improve on because he has a tendency to want to take over. And I do agree, you should be the man certain moments, but there are times where he's just going too much one-on-one ball. He's forcing the issue. You know, he's taking bad shots, making questionable decisions. I've seen it several times from him throughout his career, right? So is Cat. Cat, the issue I got with Cat is his lack of effort, his lack of energy, his lack of hustle, his lack of everything. That's where it struggles. That's where it bothers me to see Cat play because it's like, dude, if you just learn how to turn all those up like 10 notches, your effort, your hustle, your play overall, bro, you are a superstar. You could be an Embiid. You could be even better than Embiid. But his work ethic is what kills me. You know what I mean? It just kills me. Anthony Edwards, I don't got no problem with him. He works hard. He works his tail off. But again, same thing. Cat makes questionable decisions too, right? He makes questionable decisions, offensive decisions. But all I'm saying is, like, Cat, he just got to turn it up. He just needs to turn it up. Stop being a big old little pussy and turn that shit up.
We've seen this story with Cat since he's came into this league, right, Isaac?
He doesn't care.
Yeah. Can we just be real for a second? We've seen this for Cat for almost what? How long has he been in the league? What?
Almost 10 years now?
Almost 10. Yeah.
Almost 10 years.
9 years, yeah.
Almost 8 to 10 years in this league, and he's still putting out that maximum effort? Really? You think I want to keep somebody on my team who's going to give me zero effort each game? Meanwhile, I got this young budding superstar who wants to win, who's hungry. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to find someone who actually wants to win. Because I'm being real, Cat don't want to win.
No,
he don't want to win.
No, he don't.
And people can say whatever they want. No, he doesn't want to win. You can see it in his body effort. You can see it in his language. When the Wolves are down, he hunches over and starts arguing for fouls like most NBA players do. But Cat just, when it comes to the big moments, he disappears. He disappears because he gets in his head. You know,
I agree.
And that's one of his things too, is just like, you know, if he got his head out of his ass and started playing like he really gave a fuck, he'd go places.
Oh, he would be.
Yeah.
I think personally, he'd be way better than Embiid.
I think he would be.
He's more lankier. He can shoot the three ball
More
better than Embiid.
reliable.
More mobile.
Exactly.
And his shot selection. That's the one thing I critique about Karl Anthony Towns is you're a 7 foot big. Most power forwards right now are about 6'8", 6'7", 6'9". You need to get your ass in that post and get a couple back downs and go to work and score.
I agree.
Charles Barkley said it too. Cat, you're 7 foot. What are you doing out there out on the perimeter shooting these inefficient threes? You could be easily averaging 30 points a game if you got your ass in the post.
Granted, yeah, he is a good shooter for his size, but I mean, like, there's a time and place for all that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to be shooting a 3-ball every 2-3 possessions. You can just get down low, throw your ass in the post,
or get it within the flow of offense.
Yeah,
get it in the flow of the offense.
Yeah, man, you and Ant run that 2-man game.
Easy.
You know?
Not to be harsh, Cat, but we're just keeping it real.
Crazy trade. So he has a max contract kicking in, which is going to make it harder to trade. Here's a wild theory. Golden State Warriors trade him for Kuminga. I feel Timberwolves will take a flyer on Kuminga because he's been sitting on the bench. Ant wants a player who wants to play and will get an opportunity to play. Kuminga has been screwed out of a starting role on the Warriors and to develop. On the Timberwolves, don't you think? Like a small ball 4, maybe?
I can see
he could score.
He could definitely score. You know, if you just give him his minutes, like his per 36 numbers, I think they could just shoot up to 25, 26 a game.
You could get Steph Curry, a fringe all-star, to help him in
his
Draymond
in the twilight of his career, yeah.
And then the Wolves would be set up. They got Dillingham, they got McDaniels, they got Kuminga, Edwards. They would just have to get rid of Gobert at some point.
Now, if you told me that young core going into the future in 5 years, yeah, I'd be a little scared of Minnesota out west. So yes, I do agree. I think that trade would work too, you know. But obviously, too, you got to figure out what you got to do with Gobert, you know. So
yeah,
eventually that contract will be attractive to trade for teams, but it just depends on a lot of things. What if it's the Pistons? They're purgatory. They could, if
NBA
they get desperate.
purgatory.
I feel. Oh, go ahead.
Let's be honest. They don't know what's going on, so they're pretty much the cesspool of like, hey, you need to get rid of a salary dump. Detroit, we need to get rid of some players. We don't know what the hell we're doing. So, yeah.
Yeah. I could see that I could see that happening. I could see Mike Dunleavy trying to pull the trigger on that because right now he better do something out there because he made himself look like a chump trading away Klay Thompson
and pull for nothing
for like second picks.
Pacific Division.
Yeah, we'll say that we'll get Pacific Division.
Yeah.
But you know what? Let's go out to another young team. Isaac, do you have anything else to say?
No, we can go.
We're going to head out to OKC.
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts on the additions that OKC had?
The addition of Isaiah Hartenstein, I'm not going to say it moves the needle, but it does help them, you know what I mean, get that extra little kick, right? Helps them move on, get that extra seeding out west, right? So I think personally, you know, Hartenstein's more of a playmaking big. They can still defend. Right, but he's coming off the bench. I think. Right, he's gonna be coming off the bench.
No, he has to be starting. There's no way.
I mean, if you pay him that big ass, what's his contract?
3 years, $90 million.
Yeah, he's gonna be starting.
90 million?
I think it's $90 million or $87 million,
somewhere around there, or
something like that.
But anyway,
you don't pay that much money for someone to sit on the bench.
I mean, your starting 5 would be SGA. You got Lou Dort, J-Dub, Hartenstein, and Holmgren.
But Holmgren would be a 4.
Well, yeah, vice versa. You just swap the positions, and then the bench coming up: Caruso, Isaiah Joe. I mean, damn, that Thunder team's pretty loaded.
They are pretty damn loaded.
On paper, they look good, but we'll have to see in person.
I feel it's the most overrated signing of the free agent market.
I don't know.
Why do you think it's overrated?
I mean, yeah, they got their big man, but they don't have a point guard, man. And don't say SGA can like distribute the ball. He can't.
Well, I think
who's the true floor general?
Williams, bro.
No, my God.
I'll tell you this. Before we even started this episode, bro, I looked up some stats because I remember what you said about Josh Giddey and J-Dub, bro. Josh Giddey and J-Dub average almost about the same in terms of assists. J-Dub was more efficient. So if you ask me who I'm gonna play more at the point right now, I wouldn't be surprised if I see J-Dub, man, because you should have seen his stats in the playoffs. He's averaging 19 and what was it? I think 19 and 8.
Taking away his game of scoring in order to facilitate.
He can still score when he needs to score. He can score when he needs to score.
Didn't we mention flow of offense earlier? How is he ever gonna find his game if he's always distributing?
Well, I mean,
you got Chet, you got SGA. What are you gonna do about that?
Get their bucket, bro, but someone's gonna have to sacrifice their talent. You know, and sacrifice their scoring. J-Dub, I mean, look, he'll score when he needs to score. That's the bottom line. Like, I'm not down his ability to score. He'll score when he needs to. But I think, you know, having him run the offense, right? I think he's more of a facilitating point guard, and, you know, he can score when he has to score. That's just how I see J-Dub playing. You know, more facilitate. I think he can facilitate the offense better than SGA.
I agree with Isaac, and I would also add to that. They need a point guard, but also, too, they need some punch off the bench. You tell me you're going to run
Caruso, Isaiah Joe.
Time out.
Come on.
Time out. Did you really just say Alex Caruso for points? Okay. No. You need to stop right there. Okay. Laker fan, Alex Caruso. What was he known for? Offense or defense?
He gave you a little bit of everything, but it was his defense that really stood out.
But time out. In this league nowadays, you're not going to need not a 10-man roster on the floor. All you really need is a 7-8-man roster that you can throw out there on the floor, mix players around. And these days, players are playing 2 to 3 positions these days, bro. Like, Caruso can play the 2. He can play the 3. He can probably play the 4. I'm just saying, you can throw him at the point guard too. He'll do it too.
All I'm saying is that the OKC Thunder need a point guard, and they need a 6-man off the bench.
I think they're just fine.
They need to score. They need to score a punch. Isaiah Joe's a shooter. Isaiah Joe's a shooter.
Because you got scoring, you got shooting and defense out there on the floor. I don't know what y'all are seeing.
If I'm the Thunder, I'm trying to figure out how I can get Karis LeVert out there.
That would be a bad move, but all I'm saying is, like, I think the Thunder are good as is.
All right, who's the bench for OKC?
I just told you. Who gives a fuck about everybody else? Who else they got out there?
SGA can't hit his mid range. Jay Williams can't get going. Chet can't get going. Are you going to expect Isaiah Hartenstein to start scoring?
Bro, but first of all, okay, in a rare occasion that will not happen because someone's gonna pop off.
No, but what happens if it's the playoffs?
People gonna pop off.
What's gonna happen?
Lou Dort. Someone got to step up.
God.
Lou Dort.
Did you just say Lou Dort's going to step up?
Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, and Isaiah Joe. Now, granted, they're missing some size out there. I could be missing a few other people, but those are the main people I'm thinking about right now. Lou Dort built like a linebacker, bro. He only 6 foot.
We're not saying he's not built like a linebacker. We're asking about.
I just think the Thunder have enough to compete out west.
They have enough to compete to be a second-round exit.
No, they're not. They'll beat Dallas in the 7th game. You give them.
I don't disagree with you. I think they might beat Dallas in the 7th game. I just think that Thunder just need an upgrade. Need to get a point guard. You have SGA, but you need to get a solid backup point guard.
You got Caruso.
Alex Caruso's not a true point
deeper
guard.
Team.
He's not a true point guard.
Dallas is a deeper team.
We'll say that when we get to the Southwest Division, dude. I don't want to hear that argument because that's just whatever about that statement.
OKC will be a second-round exit. Dallas is going back to the finals. End of story.
All right, whatever. I just think that that OKC really needs to get a point guard and get a scoring punch off the bench.
Who would you trade if you were OKC? You got picks that Sam Presti needs to trade at this point.
If I'm OKC right now, if I want to get a scoring punch off the bench, I'm going to really consider taking a look at Karis LeVert from the Cleveland Cavaliers.
And you can move Lou Dort realistically.
Move Lou Dort, open up a position for Alex Caruso.
Yeah, realistically. Because Lou Dort and Caruso are pretty much the same.
I'm going to throw a wild trade out there. There's a team under a lot of pressure that you both think is a threat in the West, which they are not. I'm calling it right now. If the Suns struggle, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get some picks back. OKC has picks. Suns need picks. Call them up. Give us Tyus Jones. 2 first-round picks.
That would be a pretty good deal.
That's a good deal, man, but no way in hell because the Suns are still going to be a top team out west. Anyway, let's proceed. I want to save that for when we actually talk about the Pacific Division.
Anyways, we talked about those young teams. We talked about the Wolves. Talked about the Thunder.
Talked about the Nuggets.
We talked about the Nuggets. We're forgetting the Portland Trailblazers.
You mean the Snail Blazers?
I completely forgot about them.
Yeah, those Portland Trailblazers.
Dominating.
What's going on? What's going on out there? You have DeAndre Ayton starting at center.
He's
And then
not
you-
going to be starting
And
anymore.
you have Donovan Clingan.
Klingen.
You have Donovan Clingan. What's going on out there?
Klingen.
What's going on out there, Portland? You draft Donovan Clingan to a team that's already got a logjam at the center position.
Well, here. You go first.
No, I personally think what's going to happen is I wouldn't be surprised if Aiden gets moved because Aiden's your best trade chip at this point. Because also, too, if you really think about it, they got Rob Williams. They've also got Donovan Clingan. And now they've got DeAndre Ayton. So there's three centers. Don't get me wrong. Robert Williams, he's a quality center in this league.
When healthy.
When healthy, I think he's a top shot blocker in this league. When healthy.
Agreed.
You know? But now you're adding Donovan Clingan to the mix. Then you obviously have DeAndre Ayton. One of them's got to go. And if you ask me who's the more lucrative trade piece, I'm shipping out DeAndre Ayton because you can send some pieces. You can send them and get some picks out from different teams. Send them to a contender. That's all you need to do. Send them to a contender.
Who?
You know?
Who's going to trade for him? List off the teams.
I can't think of any teams who want to trade for him. But I'm just giving you an example.
You should have some teams lined up. I'm just telling you.
Dallas, bro.
The Lakers or Clippers might really realistically. I think I can see the Clippers doing that.
Hey, no, I can see too. In all seriousness, though, yeah, send him to the Clippers because it'd make more sense if he's out there, and the Clippers need a center.
What do they have to trade?
If it's a Zubats,
Oh my god.
bro, if it's a Zubats,
Zubac is better than DeAndre Ayton.
Are you serious?
Yes. Zubac is better than DeAndre Ayton. Zubac is much more effective and a better center than DeAndre Ayton.
Bro, I can't make you say.
Yeah, I'm just speaking facts. Zubac is better than Ayton.
How is he better? How is he better?
That said last year's episode. Remember that one of last year's episode? You would take a Miles Turner cat. Bro, come on.
I would. I still would.
Oh my god.
You gotta be kidding me with that, bro.
I still would. Zubac knows his role. He's not talking out of his butt cheeks like DeAndre and saying, I'm going to dominate, and goes on to dominate with 5 freaking points and then gets stuck at his house because there's ice in the road. Oh my God. He missed the game because there's ice on the road. On the road. Such danger. But he's an NBA player. Danger.
But all I'm saying is, bro, DeAndre Ayton, you can still get a lot of pieces for DeAndre Ayton back.
Zubac.
Yeah.
Zubac defends. He shows up. He's not stuck at his house.
I'm not
The floor's wet. Oh, I'm going to slip.
I'm not disagreeing with you that he's not tough, bro. But you just look at the talent, bro. I'm still taking DeAndre Ayton on
Let's
paper.
be honest. The minute CP3 got there, that's the only reason he got paid. Ever since then, he's been absolute garbage. He's been mediocre at best.
Yeah, he's above average.
He's above average. He reminds me of Cat. When he wants to work, he'll work. But when he doesn't, he doesn't.
A bootleg version of Cat. That's who he is.
He's a Dollar Tree version of Cat.
Yeah.
He's a worse version than Marvin Bagley.
Well, how about this though? Are we looking at Scoot Henderson right now as a bust, or what? How we feel?
No,
about Scoot
not a
Henderson?
bust.
Nope. I will defend Scoot Henderson. It was his first year.
He put
out there in Portland. He was hurt for most of the season last season. Give this man some credit. I think Scoot Henderson's going to have a bounce back
Bobby,
year.
wouldn't you agree he's trying to master the most difficult position in the NBA? Point guard.
Yeah. He has to find his identity in this league. His identity is going downhill and finishing attacking at the rim. That's his identity.
You know who had a trash first preseason too? Jalen Brunson. Who else did? I feel someone else did.
But I don't remember.
I'm trying to think. I know Jalen Brunson had a horrible first league season, and he was terrible. But
look how we turned out now. See, so give Scoot Henderson. I'm not gonna shove him and say he's one of the worst overall picks. No, he's not. Give him some time to develop.
All right, but how much time are we going to take?
We're going to give him another 2 years.
The other 2 years
Yeah,
to
we're
figure
going to
shit
give him
out?
2
What?
years. We're going to give him 2 years.
Okay, Mr.
Okay.
Oh my God,
Hold
2
up.
years.
Hold up.
My God, that's a lot of time.
Bobby knows about the example I'm going to bring up. But this is the same dude that we talking about, Kevin Knox, right? We was talking about Kevin Knox. New York Knicks fans were thinking, oh, he's great. He's going to be good. You know what I mean? I know they booed him too, whatever, all that whatnot. And everybody said, just give him some time. Just give him some time. Give him some time. Look at Marvin Bagley. Give him some time. Let him develop. Give him some time. Let him develop. No. Bro, tell me where's Marvin Bagley right now, bro. You answer. Where's Marvin Bagley? NBA purgatory.
In the Wizards?
No.
I lost track. No, he was in the Wizards.
He's with the Pistons.
No, he got traded to the Pistons and then he went to the Wizards.
Fucking know where he's at? Do I fucking care? No. But the point is, it's like we can't sit here and keep giving excuses. Oh, give him another 2 years to develop. None of this. You got 1 more year in this league, bro. So you better figure this shit out. That's all I'm saying. Now, I'm not saying you need to average like 20 points next year. That's not what I'm saying. But you need to have some sort of good feel for the game.
So
that's all I'm saying.
What does Scoot Henderson need to do?
He needs to improve. Obviously, we know his game is more downhill.
just get to the damn point.
No, I gotta explain the point, man. I'm not just get to the damn point. I'm gonna explain it. Scoot Henderson, he's at his best when he goes downhill. If he can get his game up to like a Ja Morant, which is a stretch, but if he can get somewhere around that level, I think he's gonna be really good. His 3-point shooting is shitty. He can't shoot the damn 3-ball to save his life. That's another thing he needs to improve on. He needs to improve on facilitating.
Like most NBA players, but I get what you're saying.
No, I'm just saying he needs to be able to facilitate the offense a bit better. You know what I mean?
Bobby.
I just think he just needs to find his identity, and his identity is attacking the rim.
That's what I'm
Get out
saying.
of transition and score.
If he could be like Russell Westbrook in the 2010s era,
Right.
yes, I would say okay, 'cause that's where I think he's going. Really
And I think he is, and we saw glimpses of that towards the end of the last season.
Absolutely.
So give him some time.
Oh, I'm
to
giving him
develop.
time. I'm not writing him off.
You're giving him 2 years.
And I give him.
You
2
gotta
years.
give him 3. Oh, perfect example. Steph Curry, first 2 years, constantly injured. He was not the best player. He was constantly injured, and they questioned him. Look at him now. And you want to write off Scoot after 2 years.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. The point is, he's got to prove something next year. Prove something to me. Prove something to me.
We're not saying he doesn't need to prove anything.
I get what you're saying, Benny.
But God, give him like 3 years at least.
All right, then you'll be saying give him 5 years. And then 5 years, then what do we figured out? He's not that good of a player.
Do you realize how many chances Killian Hayes got? And he showed no flashes whatsoever. Scoot at least showed some flashes.
Look at Dennis Smith Jr. when he was with Dallas. Shit, everybody touted him. Oh, he's the face of the franchise in Dallas. Then what happened?
Luka.
Poof. Yeah, Luka came in. And DSJ fell off.
DSJ quickly fell off.
Yeah. Then you play for purgatory teams like the Nets, the Pistons to revive your career, the Hornets. Need I go on? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's not bad, but he could end up like a DSJ if he don't figure it out.
They got a promising young core out there, though, in Portland. I want to talk about something positive about Portland.
Sorry, I meant to bring up. Are they trading Jeremy Grant?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, too. I think in Portland right now, if they get rid of Jeremy Grant and DeAndre Ayton.
And Anthony Simons.
Anthony Simons? No, I'm keeping Anthony Simons.
Them wanting to trade him.
I keep Anthony Simons.
He's the oldest of the group, and like he would fetch some like picks or something.
No, I think you get more for DeAndre Ayton.
Oh my!
I really do think you get more for DeAndre Ayton. I think you have to keep Anthony Simons,
guys are
trade DeAndre Ayton,
Jeremy
Grant, and get some young talent around. Open up some space for the young fellas. Open up that space out there for Portland. They got some good talent out there.
I didn't see very moved at all. But there's talks about them wanting to trade Anthony Simons, but Anthony Simons is a trade piece.
I wouldn't. I mean, I can see that.
So he can shoot a million shots and be in NBA purgatory for the rest of his career?
The dude puts up 22, 23 points a game.
How many wins does it transition to?
Because he's on a young rebuilding team.
Okay, he's not that young. He's not. He does not fit with the core.
How old is Anthony Simons?
Oh, look it up on your phone. I know he's not that freaking there.
He's like 25, 26 years old. So.
He fits right in the timeline with that young. Oh my goodness, whatever.
Well, I'm sorry, but the Jazz gave up on Donovan Mitchell and they traded him to Cleveland, which upset me a little bit because I thought he just fit.
All right, once we answer this question, we gotta wait. We got the Jazz, right? That's the last.
We
team.
got the Jazz. Anthony Simons is 25 years old. He fits right in the timeline.
Yeah,
how old is Shaden Sharp?
Scoot's like 22, 23.
Shane Sharp is 21.
Shane Sharp is 21.
He's 2021.
He's 20.
Yeah, he's 20.
He doesn't fit in the time.
They're in their young mid-20s, dude. They're fine. They're fine. The
But
person
you're telling
you
me
need to
DeAndre
trade,
Ayton is fitting in there too.
because DeAndre Ayton's what, almost 28, 29?
Yeah, well, DeAndre, you can ship him.
Yeah, you could ship him and get rid of Jeremy Grant, and then boom.
Then let the rebuild
Rob
begin.
Williams, and let the rebuild begin.
All right,
But
whatever.
you build around Anthony Simons.
keep-
Anyway, we're gonna move on to the Utah Jazz and speak about Lauri Markkanen.
Isaac, you go first. You go ahead.
I don't know what to say about the Jazz. I feel they're just another Danny Ainge Celtics. Like they're gonna hoard picks, and they're not gonna do anything.
I think the Jazz are an enigma out west. I really had high expectations for them, personally. Especially with the nice young coach and Will Hardy. And you got a nice guard in Keontae George to build around the future. And you've got I'm forgetting the center's name.
Walker Kessler, who
Walker
they
Kessler.
tried to trade.
Yeah, who they tried to trade, which I never understood.
I don't understand that.
I don't understand that either. But like, if you ask me, what needs to happen is if the Utah Jazz have to pick, who do they want to build their future around? Is it Keontae George, or is it what's his
Lauri
name?
Markkanen.
Lauri Markkanen. You got to pick on who you want to build your future around. Because I'm gonna be honest, if you ship out Lauri Markkanen, you can get some picks back. You get some damn good
He's
assets back.
ineligible to be traded until next year.
Well, then there you go. See, and I know they've got a good young core. I'm forgetting some players off the top
You
of their
got
head.
Keontae George,
Keontae
Taylor Hendricks.
Taylor Hendricks. Yes, that's who I was thinking about. Yes,
He's nice.
he's a nice player.
He's nice.
He's a nice player.
And they drafted what's his face, that guard out of USC, Isaiah
Collier.
Collier.
Isaiah Collier.
Collier, yeah.
Yeah,
And
again,
they took Kyle Filipowski.
yeah. I mean, that's basically probably signing the replacement for Walker Kessler, right?
Or sign the replacement for Lauri Markkanen.
No way.
Kapowski's more of a old school traditional big,
Yeah, but he can stretch the floor.
a little bit.
Similar to Lauri.
Walker Kessler can't stretch the floor.
Yeah, I think you keep Filipowski and Collier. And trade
I
Lauri
mean,
Markkanen.
again, we gotta see how they perform this year, man. We gotta see how they do and stuff like that. But
Well, we know they're going to be in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes.
yeah, but they're gonna be like a decent team. Probably gonna be 10th.
I don't think so.
10th or 11th out west. Yeah,
10.
You think so?
10th or 11th. Yeah.
No, there's no way.
I think they're going to be probably like 13th, 14th.
No, they're better than Portland. I'll say that they're better than Portland.
I'd take Portland
You
over
take
Utah.
Portland over Utah.
Yeah.
You take Portland over Utah?
Yeah.
I take Utah over Portland.
Come on, man.
I think
And then obviously we'll talk about later in the Southwest with San Antonio and Houston, all those teams. But yes, I do think they're gonna finish just under the 10 or 11 out west. Because again, they still have so much potential. They just need to tap into that.
I could see Utah maybe taking a swing at Kuminga too.
No.
you. Why?
No.
Golden State needs pieces.
I mean, you could ship Laurie out there. Yeah, that is true. I mean,
No.
you can.
I don't mean they don't get Laurie. They just trade for Kessler, someone else. They get picks.
Yeah.
Because if the Warriors, they pretty much said, we're not giving Kuminga the max. Why are you going to keep him and lose him for nothing? Look what happened with, God, I'm trying to think. They left in free agency. I can't. Well, you know how players leave in free agency? They could have traded them, but they didn't. Oh, KCP situation. Dallas wanted to do a sign and trade. Denver was being dumb and they didn't want to do it. And they lost them for nothing to Orlando. At least get something.
Yeah, salvage the trade. I see where you're coming at.
I see where you're coming at. But Utah's got that young, promising future. I agree. I just think Utah needs to pick a direction where they want to go.
I'm worried that Danny Ainge will just keep hoarding picks. And then when there's a star, he's not going to use them.
Well, he's going to throw all those picks at those players. I think that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, I think he's just waiting for the right opportunity.
Yeah, because I mean, it was similar in when he was in Boston, where he almost traded for Jimmy Butler for Jaylen Brown and Kawhi Leonard for Jaylen Brown and some picks. You know, it's very similar, very similar. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a star player available. You know, that's going to take a swing at him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, Utah's not an appealing market to play in. I mean, it's a small market team.
I mean, they had
wait and see.
I mean, I agreed with what you said earlier about trading away Donovan Mitchell. I thought that was way too soon to blow it up for Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, they gave up on him. I think he was the future Utah.
Yeah, I really thought they were gonna go places, but he's in Cleveland now.
Eventually, we'll do a what if episode. It'd be interesting.
What if?
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Really quick, or do you have any more teams or any more thoughts?
I got no more teams. What do you got, Isaac?
Did you hear Vlade Divac saying, "Oh, we'll see who has a better career"? If he regrets picking Marvin Bagley over Luka, he's like, "We'll see." I'm like,
Come on,
seriously,
that's just the most.
he's like,
Yeah,
we have De'Aaron Fox. I'm like,
but
Really?
is he Luka Doncic?
be like, how many finals have the Kings been to? How many conference finals? Need I say more?
You wanted to talk about the Joel Embiid situation.
Oh yeah, what do you guys think? His last chance for a title? I think it is
Yes, it
personally.
is.
Yeah, it is.
Because what? They maxed out Embiid. He's pretty much going to retire a Sixer. They maxed out Maxey. That's a funny pun. They maxed out Paul George.
Paul George.
You think about it. Who else is? They can't do anything. Paul George won't be easy to trade if they wanted to. Let's be honest. They're the biggest what if team if they are healthy. That's the big if.
We'll find out in about a month because the NBA season begins in a month, and I am looking forward to it.
October 21st.
October 22nd.
Oh, 22nd.
Yep. You have the Lakers T-Wolves play
The
that.
Knicks and the
Knicks and
Celtics.
Sixers.
Ring ceremony.
No, Knicks and Celtics.
Speaking of Lakers, next week we're covering the Pacific Division.
Oh,
we have
yeah.
Clippers,
Let's do it. I got plenty of things to say.
Lakers, Kings, Warriors. There's plenty of to say for next week.
I got plenty of things to talk about.
Bunch of mediocrity to talk about.
Bunch of mediocrity. Do we got anything else before we hang out?
Anyway, before I forget, special shout out to everyone who's been commenting, following us, supporting us. We appreciate the love and support. Continue to follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram. We appreciate the love and support.
Yeah, thank you for
And
listening. Please like, subscribe on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and X. Also, leave comments in the comments section. We do appreciate that. And all the
Positive.
engagement we've received so far. And Isaac said something earlier that piqued my interest. What did you say about Cat, Isaac?
Really quick. Positive or negative, we don't care. Like, dislike, do it. I don't remember what did I say? Cat?
Yeah, you said something about Cat.
Cat.
Do you remember, Benny?
I
Cat.
don't remember what he said.
Cat.
You don't remember what you said about Cat?
No, obviously not.
We'll review the episode and then we'll bring it back up. I don't know what you're talking about.
If you remember, just tell me.
All right. And on that note, we're out.
All right, team.